Okay, welcome to class. Here we go. Glad to get this started again, to be working with you all. Things have changed a little in our lives, and I suppose there's a lot we could talk about. But I want to keep these videos short and to the point. Just know that I and all of MCC, we're working hard to make this semester a good experience and a learning experience. It'll take a little give and take. Cut me some slack when videos are a little choppy or whatever, but we'll work together and make this good. All right, let's get started on our next section, or module as I'm calling it, which is Light and Shadow. With Light and Shadow, you can really start putting some drama and excitement into your drawings, even with just everyday articles. You can even bring an emotional quality into your drawings with light and shadow. Now you'll notice I use the term light and shadow as opposed to shading. To me, shading implies kind of an ambiguous, amorphous kind of shading, whereas light and shadow means actual light and actual shadow. Here is shading. It's just kind of a general gradation from light to dark. It gives a feel of form, sure, but it doesn't give the same feel of a specific ball with a specific light coming in and hitting it. So light and shadow is what we're going to learn about. Okay, you need to go get a pencil and a piece of paper and take notes on this. If you don't have one with you right now, pause the video and go get it. So, in light and shadow, you have two main divisions, the light mass and the shadow mass. Write those down. Light mass, shadow mass. And there's a definite division between the two. There is a definite place where the light is coming in, hitting the surface is turning, getting less light, until it finally hits the point where the light is no longer hitting the surface of the form. So you get into the shadow mass. Now each of these are divided into subdivisions. In the light mass, there is the light, the midtone, and the highlight. Now the midtone gradates, all of this does somewhat, but then it goes real fast right here into the shadow. And within the shadow mass, you have the core shadow, the darkest part, core shadow right here. Reflected light. This, it gets a little lighter because it's getting light reflected up from other surfaces that are getting light. So core shadow, reflected light, cast shadow. That is how artists have rendered form for hundreds of years. We're going to learn about this by doing a project. And that project will look like this, except you won't have all these numbers and things like this on here. It'll be nice and clean. But it'll be 18 by 24. You're going to have a rectangle up here that is 7.5 inches wide and 1.5 inches tall, divided into 5 squares, each of which are 1.5 inch squares. This rectangle will be 2 inches from the top, 5.25 inches in on each side. 4 inches down from the bottom of the rectangle is the square, which is 14 inches square. 2 inches in from each side, and leaves about 3 inches down here. So you're going to lay out your paper like that. The first thing I want you to get started on tonight is the sphere, but wait and watch the next video because there's a specific process and technique that I'm going to show you that you need to use to do this. It's a technique that's used very much at this school and is one way of drawing, and you need to learn it. So thank you. That's the introduction to this. Go to the next video, which is sphere. All right, see you there.